find the queen and cage her, put her in a little cage like this. See all the bees there? I like to just leave the frames outside the hive so I can keep a good count of how many we've done from each hive. We're going to do 5 from each hive. This is the feeder, a trough area there that we can fill up with sugar syrup or candy. There's a queen excluder in between there. And now spray water in quickly so the bees aren't all flying up. We wet them down like this so they don't fly. They look like in the bottom here, just a big mass of bees in the bottom. And we'll measure up 1.5 cups. There's 1.5 cups there, and then we dump them in, and then Dave takes over. 1.5 cups. Dave closes those up, bangs them, and then you can see that Stephanie's pouring in the sugar syrup, and then Brooke will be putting in the cell. The goal here is to move along pretty quickly so that we don't have a lot of bees up in the feeder who would get drowned with the sugar syrup. And we set them onto cement blocks and then strap them into place because the raccoons will get in here and tip them and drink the syrup. So if we have them on the cement blocks like that, it gets them up out of the grass so the queens and bees can get in and out quite easily, but the coons can't tip them over to access the syrup. Tomorrow morning we're going to come back. We will pull out this tack, which keeps the door shut. We'll move it up and we'll put the pin in place here, and that keeps the lid from falling down because they get kind of loose. And then flip that lid over beside here, turn the box, and first of all have a look at the queen cell. We can see that the queen has hatched out. It's open at the bottom there. So we're done with that. Then we pry the frames, all 3 frames, to loosen them up. I like to take this frame out first and look for the queen, and there she is. Very often the queen is on this frame, and we've got eggs I can see in there. She's a good size. She's motoring around, but she's mated and is laying, so we can now pick her up and mark her. As we're taking frames out, and it may be 1 frame or 2 frames or even 3 frames before we find the queen. So we can just lay those frames like that on the lid. Occasionally we find the queen inside the box. So we try to move through these frames quickly and catch the queen while she's still on a frame. If she's inside the box, we then have to use our hive tool and play a little bit of hockey with her and just gradually move her towards the top like that so that we can then pick the queen up. But this time we're fortunate, we found the queen on the first frame, so we'll now mark her. the right wing, since it's an even year. I got a little bit of honey on the wings here. There we go, got that separated. And then we're going to put that queen into a cage, like so, and pick out attendants. We're looking for very young looking bees to put in here. And we'll put 5 attendants in with the queen. You see how I'm covering that hole up with my finger and just opening it up enough to pop another bee in there. And we put 5 in. I've missed a couple, so there we go. And then the next thing we do is put the candy into place. These cages come with candy tubes that we can slip into place here. And there to go. That's all ready to be mailed off to another beekeeper or installed in another colony. So that's how we cage, mark, and clip our queens. Now they're in the shade so it doesn't overheat. But when we open that up, we have our cells in here, we keep them vertical, and we handle them gently. So Stephanie's going to open up those nukes now. And as she's opening them up, I'll be putting a cell in, like so. So everyone gets a cell. And then as soon as we've got all the cells in,